Hello, I'm Sally Earlham, and this is just a brief video to introduce you to my CPD course for reflexologists, which is around reflexology for supporting the menopause. Now, should we as reflexologists be talking about the menopause? And I would argue absolutely yes, we should do. And the main reason is because reflexology can help. Reflexology does make a difference. The other side of this is, as reflexologists, we can be there to help support our clients, to educate them, and we are there to empower the women to be the best that they can be at that time. And I think it's really important that we start to reframe menopause. We talk about it in positive terms, and that women can see that this can actually be a new start for them. We also know that lifestyle factors can have a profound impact on menopause symptoms, and that's where the education comes in. So we need to know what lifestyle factors can make a difference and be there to offer if the woman is willing and able to take on some lifestyle changes. And we are there to help women find their PMZ, their postmenopausal zest, as described by the social anthropologist Margaret Mead. Now, the course itself obviously has theory and practical, and we cover attitudes to menopause, both historical and cultural. And this is fascinating, and this backs up about the importance of lifestyle factors. There are actually some cultures where the women don't have menopausal symptoms. They don't even have a word for menopause. So it just begins to show that actually the really horrendous symptoms are often a sign of the modern westernized society. We look at the reflexology research, which adds credibility to what we are doing. We obviously have an introduction to menopause, and we look at HRT as well. We look at stress and the menopause, and this is really important to us, because what we do know is that with high cortisol levels, symptoms are worse. And of course, what is reflexology brilliant at? It's creating that deep relaxation, which will be beneficial for these women. We look at common symptoms. We look at reflexology treatment planning, and this is in sort of several different ways. We go through the anatomy and physiology and identify the key reflexes that we really need to be working to be able to support the body through menopause and postmenopause as well. We look at the reflexologist's approach to menopause. Are there additional things that we can do to help support women at this time? And I believe there are some tweaks that we can make to that therapeutic relationship to add benefit to menopausal women. We look at the holistic approach and the 5 pillars, which we will come back and have a quick look at. And we also talk about postmenopause, and this is sort of one of my passions. All the talk really is about perimenopause, when the symptoms tend to be at their worst. But actually, perimenopausal symptoms on average last approximately 4 years. There is a small percentage that can go up to 10 years. However, postmenopause is a third, possibly a half, of a woman's life. And in postmenopause, this is when those long-term conditions can become a real problem for women. Cardiac events, the rise at menopause in the number of cardiac events in women is absolutely staggering. Our lymphatic system doesn't work as well. Our liver, it is a whole body experience. And actually what we need to be doing is putting postmenopause into the healthy aging agenda and actually keeping on top of that. It's not just about perimenopause. The practical techniques that we cover, there are some focused reflexology techniques, that's different ways in working. Some additional opening and relaxing moves which are specific to reflexology for menopause. We have a menopause support sequence, which is really our core treatment, which focuses on those areas of the body that tend to be most affected during menopause. Lymphatic drainage sequence, and this is for inflammation, which becomes a real issue in menopause and postmenopause as well, and can be the contributor to many of the long-term conditions. And an endocrine balance. This is the way I end all of my treatments. The course is delivered in two different ways, as an online course and also a face-to-face course. With the online structure, these are all pre-recorded modules, and I've tried to keep them quite short. You can start the course when you want, and you can study at the time that suits you, and you have 18 months to complete the course. There are 19 theory modules, and these are all done as PowerPoint presentations, very much in the same way as this one is, with me talking in the corner. And then there are some simple multiple choice questions at the end, just to check your understanding as you go along. There are practical videos for you to follow as well, so you can download a manual which has pictures and explanations, but you can actually see the practical being done, and you can revisit that as many times as you want. You do then need to practice on friends, family, even clients as well. And then when you feel confident, you drop me an email and we set up a Zoom tutorial for you. And this isn't an exam, it's very much a tutorial. It's there to support you. It's so we can do little checks to check that your positioning is correct, that you understand if you've got any questions that you want to ask. This is your perfect time to do it. Then once you've completed that, you get emailed your certificate and an electronic badge that you can use on your website, social media, wherever you want. The in-person course obviously covers the same theory and practical as the online course. It's 2 days and it's run in small groups. I always like to work in small groups. I think a group bonding that you get is fantastic, and I believe it just makes your learning easier and better. We have theory sessions in the morning, practical in the afternoon. But you do also get access to the online training course. So it does mean that you can go back and refresh on both the practical and the theory, again, as many times as you want. And again, you get a certificate at the end of the training. So in terms of reflexology and planning your reflexology, the differences that we make is we identify a core treatment plan, identify the key reflexes, and most of those are tied up in that menopause support sequence. So we're going to add this in. It can become part of your treatment. We then look at different techniques for working these key reflexes as well. But although that gives you some very set work you can do, we still need to trust our intention and our intuition. Setting your intention, I think, has a huge impact on the reflexology that we do. And then relaxation. I've put relaxation as a given. You know, reflexology is fantastic for resetting that stress button. And as I've said, that is absolutely key in reducing menopausal symptoms. So that's just a brief cover of the reflexology. The 5 pillars for healthy menopause. I've said about the importance of lifestyle factors, but you know, where do you start? And I think this gives us a framework so we can encourage our clients to look at their lifestyle very honestly. And you can look at it in terms of nutrition, movement, relaxation, sleep, and purpose. Purpose is an interesting one, but in menopause, this is a time when women feel it's a time of loss. And this is the sort of thing we need to reframe. Loss of fertility is the obvious one, but often it's a time when children are leaving home. Work situations may be changing as well. And sense of purpose is about what makes you want to get up in the morning. So it's about them reconsidering their purpose. Who do they want to be for the rest of their lives, and then to make a plan to get there. Now, as part of the training, once you've done your Zoom video, this is going to be very small, but I have also written a client-facing booklet, and this is on the 5 pillars, and you receive that, as I say, when you've done your Zoom. And this is something that you can then send to clients and share with them. Let them read it in their own time, let them think about it, and come back to you for discussion about what changes they feel they are able to make and want to make. So what is the key message for our clients? I think we have to offer a little hope. We know that hope actually improves outcome. We know that symptoms will ease for the vast majority of women. That's really important. Sometimes it can feel that you're going to be in that stage of perimenopause forever, but absolutely not. They need to live life for healthy aging. They need to plan times for relaxation. Now that includes reflexology, but it's looking at something small that they can do every single day, making time for themselves, valuing their self-worth, so they can be confident with who they are. By the time you reach the age of postmenopause, 50 plus, actually that's pretty much who you're going to be, and we need to learn to be confident with that. I think it's also time where we can encourage them to take a time to pause and reflect and plan for the next phase of their life. So keeping this upbeat, as I say, trying to reframe. That's all I had to say, but just to let you know that you can see more details on my website, sallyearlham.co.uk. And if you want to, what you can do is create a free account, and you'll get 2 free mini modules on touch and also headaches and migraines. And to do that, you just go onto my homepage, and where it says online login, just click that button and register for free. So I hope that's been helpful. Obviously, if you've got any questions, feel free to drop me a line. Thank you.